What if I told you that the biggest enemy you will ever face is not your circumstances, not your background, not your competition, but your own mind? What if the voice that says, "I'm tired, I can't, maybe tomorrow," is lying to you? And what if you're not even close to your real limit, but stuck at 40% of your potential? Today we re-breaking down Can Tea Hurt Me by David Goggins, and this isn't just a book summary. This is a wake-up call. David Goggins didn't grow up strong. He grew up in poverty, in fear, dealing with abuse, racism, self-doubt, and academic struggles. He wasn't the gifted kid. He wasn't the natural athlete. In fact, by his early 20s, he weighed nearly 300 pounds, working a job he hated, watching his life drift in a direction he knew was beneath him. And then something happened. He watched a documentary about Navy SEAL training, one of the toughest military trainings in the world, and instead of saying that it's insane, he asked himself one question that changed his life: why not me? That question lit a fire. And that fire introduced one of the most powerful ideas in the book, the 40% rule. Goggins says when your mind tells you you're done, exhausted, finished, you're only at 40% of what you're truly capable of. Your brain is designed for survival, not greatness. It wants comfort. It wants safety. It wants predictability. The moment things get uncomfortable, it hits the alarm. Stop. Quit. This is too hard. But here's the truth. Discomfort is not the enemy. It's the path. So let me challenge you right now. What are you avoiding because it's uncomfortable? The workout? The business idea? The exam preparation? Posting your first video? Having that honest conversation you've been delaying? Don't brush that off. Lock it in your mind. Because that's where your growth is hiding. Goggins didn't transform overnight. He had to lose over 100 pounds in just a few months to qualify for Navy SEAL training. He failed. He faced injuries. He went through Hell Week 3 times. 3 times. Most people quit once. He kept going. Why? Because he stopped negotiating with weakness. Another brutal concept he talks about is the accountability mirror. He would stand in front of the mirror and list every flaw, every insecurity, every excuse. Overweight. Undisciplined. Afraid. Weak-minded. And instead of blaming his past, his family, society, or luck, he took ownership. Radical ownership. Because you cannot fix what you refuse to face. So let me ask you something uncomfortable. If you stood in front of a mirror tonight and told yourself the complete, unfiltered truth, what would you say? Would you admit you've been playing small? Would you admit you've been choosing comfort over courage? This book forces you to confront that. And then there's the idea of callousing the mind. We all understand physical calluses. You lift weights, your hands tear, they heal stronger. You run long distances, your legs burn, they adapt. The mind works exactly the same way. Every time you do something hard, when you wake up early instead of snoozing, when you study instead of scrolling, when you train instead of quitting, you're building mental calluses. You're becoming harder. Goggins went on to run ultramarathons, 100-mile races, pushing through broken bones, stress fractures, kidney failure, unimaginable pain. Not because he was superhuman, but because he trained his mind to stop giving up at 40%. Now let's go back to the questions we started with. Why do most people quit so early? Because the brain confuses discomfort with danger. Why do we avoid pain? Because comfort feels safe. But in today's world, discomfort is rarely danger. It's growth. It's expansion. It's evolution. And that thing you thought of earlier, that uncomfortable action you've been postponing, that is your doorway past 40%. That's your test. Can't Hurt Me is not about motivation. Motivation fades. This book is about discipline. It's about taking souls from your excuses. It's about looking at your weaknesses and saying, "You don't control me anymore." It is about understanding that life will hurt you, but you can decide whether it breaks you or builds you. And here's the powerful part. You don't need to become David Goggins. You just need to become stronger than your excuses. You need to push a little further than yesterday. One more rep, one more page. One more honest conversation. Because once you realize your limits are mostly negotiated by your mind, everything changes. If this summary made you uncomfortable, good. That means it hit something real. So now I want to know, what is one hard thing you've been avoiding that you're going to attack this week? Drop it in the comments. And if there's a book you'd love to see summarized next, tell me. I might choose your suggestion for the next 5-minute deep dive. Until then, stop negotiating with weakness, and I'll see you in the next book.